Uh, yeah, I'm just. What's up, everybody? Just a quick rant about working in architecture. And I just how disappointed we are with the field. I think we all graduate, thinking we're gonna design cool things and stuff like that. We put in tremendous amount of hours in studio, and at work, trying to move on up. But eventually, you do hit a peak or kind of level off. So I've been working in architecture for over 7 years now. Um, it's been a fun experience. I've gotten to work on huge projects for got to meet people like Elon Musk or things like that. Um, and when I was working in Beverly Hills, you got to meet a lot of the famous people. I got to see a lot of cool projects. Ultimately, though, it's expensive to live in LA, especially with the family, and architects really, or architecture overall doesn't pay as well unless you're a principal or licensed with your own firm. Um, so I just sitting here, New Year, thinking, working a little bit of hours because I have to, get stuff ready for next year. So there's a lot of documentation we have to prepare to get through. And one thing that irks me from any company, and you know, you always grow up with these like watching TV shows, especially someone like me. I came from Mexico, immigrated here when I was 5, so it was always my dream to be an architect or work in the field. And we see all this romanticization and of being salaried, and you're gonna get these bonuses and this life of Americana that frankly doesn't exist anymore. Um, Either you live in a high paying area, or you move to like another state where pay is a little bit lower, but the cost of living is much less. But every company I've been, I think the my best experience overall in a company that really cared about its workers was probably North Carolina. My first job. Um, Awesome, awesome, awesome job. I loved it there. Fortunately, I had to leave because I was coming back to California. My second job was working in Beverly Hills with all the high and mighty rich people, and that was more stressful than anything. I remember nights I would be coming home. First I was living in about 100 miles away because this is the first job I got. I had a kid, so I had to drive. So I was driving 2.5 hours to LA, 2.5 hours back. But sometimes I had to wait till 8 p.m. to avoid traffic driving back. But it was cool. I learned a lot quick. Um, so that was an experience, and I got to go to some cool parties. My wife got to see some cool celebrities and things like that. So it was worth it at that time. Moved to LA. We were there for about 2 years before COVID hit. But we knew we wanted to buy a house, so we ended up moving out here to Hemet. Uh, so I was still driving to LA from Hemet. It was about 3 hours there, 3 hours back, until I found something closer. Um, so I worked around the area now and things like that. And I work at another company, but I guess what irked me today is, and I'm sure a lot of you feel this way, is, um, a lot of us at the company, especially those younger individuals, we're waiting, for our bonuses. And I guess we don't expect them. Well, we do expect them because almost every company I've worked for has given us a bonus. Whether it be you're starting out, it's like $200, $500, right? Um, the highest I got was when I was working in Bel Air. That was my biggest bonus ever. I've never gotten anything close to that, and I want to be transparent. It was around 5,000. So, imagine your first job, or your second job out of college, and that's your bonus. You're super excited. Um, and every time after that, there, it seemed like companies just don't give a damn about their people. Um, the company I worked at there at Bel Air um, was an all-in-one engineering, architecture, whatever, in Irvine, which is one of the richest areas in SoCal. And I kid you not, our bonus was our company party. You know, it just sucks. Um, so we never, me and my wife never, you know, expect bonuses or ever say, oh, we're gonna do this with the bonus, because I just know in the field that you can't rely on it. So I left that company, went to the next one. Well, COVID happened. We got let go of that company. I had a house to keep paying, so that's why I ended up going back to LA. And I remember I was there, so I already had experience with the same boss. I worked there November to probably February or something. Um, Again, I mean, Christmas came around. Usually they shut down for a week, because a lot of government agencies shut down. Um, my bonus that year was working. The boss came in. He's like, "Oh, hey, everybody else has been working really hard for the year, so I'm gonna need you." And at this time, there's another individual who started with me. He's like, "I'm gonna need you and him to, work through December, through the break." I was like, "Yeah, it's fine. I understand." Um, so I'm not too salty about that, or whatever. I did what I did. What I do best is create crazy stuff with the software we're given, which is Revit. Um, but yeah, the drive got too crazy. I mean, I was trying to hang in there as much as I could. That's when I gained a ton of weight. I think I hit 270 at that time, because I was waking up in the morning like 5 a.m. before the sun came out. I would drive to Alberto's, and then I would get like a monster. That was just to drive to LA. Um, so I get to Santa Monica, and then get there like around 9 a.m. It just took a crazy amount of time. On the way back, I would stop at a gas station. I think it was Pomona, and I'll just go to the bathroom. I'll grab like a double cheeseburger from the McDonald's there. I eat. I head back, just because there wasn't enough time for me to get home to eat. Um, and when I finally realized I couldn't do that anymore was when I put gas there. So just to make sure. It's one time on the way back, I was driving, and if you ever been through Hemet, that area, there's this like a hill, whatever, Gilman Springs Road, and I ran out of gas. I totally forgot to put gas, so that's when I was like, yeah, no, I can't do this. And I wasn't seeing my kids. I was literally waking up at 5 a.m., driving all the way to the lake, coming back at 10 p.m., sleeping, going back. So I did this for 6 months. And the original compromise was that I was supposed to be working from home 3 days a week, but that kind of flew out the window. So I left that company, went to the next. Next one was pretty cool. I think it was closer to home. Got to work in some modular projects, completely new to me, some DSA stuff. So that was really interesting to learn that side of the business. And that was a pretty cool firm. We got bonuses that year. I think it was 1,600. And then we got a company party. And it was a pretty happy atmosphere. So that was exciting. So then I left that company to pursue something more on the software kind of side of architecture, which I will end up now. And I mean, I've been trying hard, pushing and everything, because I always want to be an excellent worker. And I've always had this rule where, like, I get my stuff done, I'm done. But if it's a mistake on my behalf, it's something we have to submit. But the way the company runs, sometimes we're backtracked a lot of projects, not enough manpower, so there's a lot of slack to pick up, especially from older projects that I wasn't a part of. So this year, yeah, we worked hard. Those nights where I worked 16 hours, to get things done for the projects and everything. So, the first year I started here, I was brand new, so I didn't expect anything. I got I think $50 Amazon gift card. I forget. I'm like, okay, that's cool, whatever. I understand. I'm new. Second year, I had a little bit more in the company. I got my bonus was 1,600. I was like, hey, extra cash, and usually, what I do is, put that towards our debt. By the way, we're struggling. It's because of my financial decisions and school decisions. We live like most Americans, paycheck to paycheck, even with the education. So slowly we're like chipping off, but there's times where you fall behind, and your only lifeline sometimes is your bonus, because you can do that to catch up on stuff, or put away for emergencies. But yeah, so that was the second year. This third year, I feel like everybody in the company worked super hard. Like, we were pushing out projects, cranking out projects, meeting all our deadlines. We're getting high remarks from the clients. So come December, we're all expecting. And when I say expecting, is I've talked among the peers. They're like, yeah, we're gonna get some good bonuses this year because we've been keeping up. And the company trimmed down the people, so there's less people but more work. Um, but yeah, we had our meetings and everything. They came where we just shut down for a week because of government functions. Um, so we didn't get anything. So that was a bummer. And I guess the moral, and I think what irks me, is that how do, especially our generation, younger generations, like when you're in meetings and you hear all these older people, talk about, oh, my lake house, my jet skis, my boats, my this, all that stuff, right? Like, to them, it was so natural that they've acquired all that. Uh, but just looking around, talking to some of us younger, I'm talking 30 below. Um, Not many of us can even think of achieving that. Like, just to get to the position in architecture, to get to even 100,000 a year, like you need like 10 years of experience and a license. So and plus all the years you do in school. Um, but yeah, we didn't get nothing, so I was disappointed. Um, just that the company doesn't. That's one way you show you care about people. Um, because I know my dad used to work at a bakery, and he still got a bonus his years. Uh, so, but I guess I'm grateful. I just wanted to talk to anybody out there, any fathers, that are going through rough situations, uh, paycheck to paycheck like we do, but like we are. I'm just keep your head up. You're not a failure. Your family loves you, um, and sometimes society just kicks our butt, but we gotta keep pushing through for family, keep providing for them, and hope that a job um, validates your hard work, uh, for what you're worth it, and just keep at it. Because I believe in you. Believe in yourself, and like CT Fletcher, F being average. Um, but yeah, just wanted to say that companies out there, just do better. Any little token of appreciation helps your workers' morale. You know, don't expect workers to come back to work New Year's Day all high and mighty when you didn't even give them some gesture of hospitality. And this is why in architecture is such a turnover rate. Like during COVID, there was a mass exodus of people from architecture. Because why do you want to do it? Why do you want to have 5 years of experience making 50,000 in LA? And that's a true story. There's companies out there. Um, for example, one of the previous companies that I got let go of for my position, they posted right away, hiring at a much lower salary range, and I'm talking about like 30,000 less. So it's BS. But I guess my goal this year, to better myself, to push forth out of this debt, is one, I'm gonna take my license exam so I could be a licensed architect. That's my main goal this year. Second goal, keep pushing out these videos of me working towards competing in an actual powerlift meet. Just so we're all healthy, I work 9 to 5 like everybody else, and oftentimes we see these fake personas on YouTube, they lose massive amounts of weight and get all buff, but like they do it on drugs, on steroids, and then sometimes they even don't even work. They just spend 8 hours a day in the gym every day. Like, yeah, we all had 8 hours a day, no work, no worries, no bills, nothing. Then yeah, we'd all be buff and yoked. So, um, yeah, I just want to talk briefly. That's how architecture is. It's a horrible field to be in if you're looking for pay, but it's a rewarding field. A lot of your designs get built, and I could walk around SoCal and point out a lot of the buildings I worked on, and I guess that's what makes me happy. When I feel down, like a failure in my field, or for my kids, at least I know, one day they'll be able to look at a building, I can say that your daddy worked on that, built it, helped design it, and ultimately that's what I want to do is just leave a a legacy of buildings. Um, but yeah, that's my ramble on architecture. Oh, it's my ramble on architecture. And any fathers out there, hang on, keep going, work hard, hit the gym, be healthy for your family. Things will get better. Um, have a blessed day, everybody.